After 2 days of soaking up desert sun came the jewel in the Arabian crown, a breathtaking example of ancient design. Hewn from the surrounding sandstone mountains, the treasury at Petra. After 2 days, it was time to bid farewell to this beautiful desert landscape and head back to Aqaba Airport, where our small team of dedicated engineers were giving Concorde a thorough check-over before the last few sectors on this historic last ever round-the-world flight.
Just come through the gap between Greece on the east and the Tour of Italy on the west side near Brindisi, and that requires some quite accurate navigation. And we've been doing that with our inertial system, which has been making the turns, and we've had that updated from some ground aids. It's done it very nicely. We're now heading up the Adriatic, and we're up at 56,000 feet at the moment. It's particularly interesting for this route, really, because we haven't flown it for some time. And this aircraft used to fly it quite often because it was in the Singapore Airlines colours and was the only aircraft to be painted thus. And it used to come down here all the time, of course. Just passed over a load of weather, which is always nice to see from above rather than from the side. And we're actually heading directly towards Venice.
Last stop on this extraordinary tour was this beautiful Italian city. Where better to reflect as the end of such a magical journey drew near than in one of the world's most romantic locations. Venice was to prove a memorable last stop on this trip, with its historic architecture, canals, and famous hand-blown Murano glass. As the 3 days of crisp winter sunshine gave way to wind and rain, last-minute preparations were being made as the passengers boarded Concorde Alpha Delta for the final leg of this amazing supersonic journey across the Med and Atlantic back to New York. In only 3 weeks, we had covered over 32,000 miles in record-breaking time, taking in a huge range of diverse locations and cultures. Overall, we'd sampled the very best that the planet can offer in a trip that truly made history, breaking 10 world speed records in all. A trip surely hard to beat. As Alpha Delta climbed away into the gloomy November sky, For the lucky passengers aboard, the memories of this extraordinary trip remain vivid and bright. With Concorde now sadly confined to history, short of travelling into space, there can never be a match to this one-off, special trip of a lifetime.
This has been a particularly interesting trip because we have an opportunity to spend a lot more time with each other, the flight and the cabin crew, and also having a ground engineer with us all the way. Barry's been kept pretty busy doing all sorts of checks on the ground, comes in covered in oil, but maintains a great sense of humour, and he's been a real credit to the flight. And I think everyone appreciates that. It's been a real team effort. I think it's the last time I'll be doing a trip like this, as I've only got a few months left to fly, but the last 13 years have been tremendous fun, and particularly when we've done these sorts of trips. Particularly with this, where you're staying with the passengers for quite a few days and you get to know them, and they tend to look on the aircraft as a little bit of home, and I can well identify with that. It's become very much a part of one's life, which is sorry to leave, but have no regrets, because it's been a wonderful few years.